Oh, the weather outside is weather. This is nice. Actual nice weather. Hello. I think I emailed you on Craigslist the other day. No?
No, my brother-in-law.
About video games?
I don't know. Well,
No?
whatever we have is probably over here, right? Like the Kelly hat? Yeah. No. Like this stuff, maybe?
Oh, well, got a couple decent things. But, no, I emailed someone about a Game Boy. I guess it was a woman. I guess it wasn't you.
Oh, yeah, no. No.
Okay.
Do you have any other video games besides these at all? Or maybe inside you've got any?
No.
One Nintendo 64 game. That's not bad. It's kind of cool. It's in a box, but it's also destroyed. How much do you want for this?
Probably the game first.
Yeah.
$3?
$3. You need a black controller?
Yeah, I got 2. Oh, it's got Blockbuster sticker on it and stuff.
And it's a Blockbuster sticker, but it's in a box.
Yep.
I'd give you $1 for it.
Okay.
It's honestly the most. Okay. Cool. So another real winner of a day today. 2 hours in, 30 plus yard sales, 2 items. I've spent $1. Fanta spent $3. Or Fanta spent $5 on that PlayStation 2. The 2 things we got are decent and really good prices, but I mean, 2 hours for 2 items, it's getting ridiculous. Especially this is the heat of yard sale season here, so it's bad. But we're gonna keep at it. It's not even 9 a.m. yet, so we still have quite a bit of time. Looks like Fanta's wheeling and dealing with the Nintendo Wii up there right now. See if he can't get a good price on it. And that is who me and Fanta compete with every single weekend. People wonder why a lot of video games have been bought out. Right there, resellers. Sonora, Mexico. They take it down to the thrift store, and or the swap meet rather, and sell everything.
Sold a PSP. I just sold an old school Nintendo.
Oh!
Too late for that. We have the old school
Plug and play?
plug and play.
How much are these?
Take those for 20, man. They sell those for 120 at Best Buy right now.
Yeah.
I'll take those. You want? Nah. You take them.
I'm not a fan of used headsets.
Another plug and play Pac-Man and some. What are those Dreamcast guns? Oh, dude, check it out.
Oh!
One of these retro Super Nintendo.
Top loader.
You need to get the cords hooked up for Bookmans, but they work nevertheless. I need to change for this. What do you got? I need to go to the store.
You take. That's a weird Super Nintendo, dude. I guess
I've seen it before. My friend has it.
I thought it was gonna be one of those dual retro things, and then I realized it was an actual Nintendo brand. I'm taking this in 64 too.
I'm gonna ask you $10 because I get a
I'll also have $10 for 2 of these.
And there's no controllers.
Yo.
Dame un momentito, si quieres esperar un poquito, ella va a ir al Circle
God, I hate buying this stuff without clothes.
It's the theme today. What are the odds of us giving you $10 for these two? Just because they're barren
And
with
there's
nothing.
no controllers.
Take them both for $10.
All right,
Take both.
got him.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, and you did find a couple games.
You just take these with me.
No Super Nintendo games though.
No Super Nintendo games.
Okay.
64 though.
All right, cool.
Cool.
For free, absolutely.
For sure, man.
So right now, someone just actually pulled up in a car and asked us if we wanted Nintendo games. Like,
Literally chased us down, got like a high-speed chase with us. I was going 20 over the speed limit, and this guy is tailgating me.
And now we almost lost him. He just fucking turned. He's going really fast. Like, I don't understand. And this person's not going. We might lose him. Like, this is scary. This is like one of those like missions where you have to like keep up with the guy.
We'll keep you updated. Follow the damn train, CJ. System in there too?
Huh?
Is the system in there too? Oh, it's one of the
twin.
the retro plug-in. Yeah. Buying that for sure. How much you want per game?
15.
Zombies ate my neighbors. Yes, dude. This is the best game ever. You want $20 for these games? You can keep the system because the system's not anything. We already bought something that plays these games today.
How much do you want to give me for what?
$20 for just these games.
For the whole game?
Yeah. Mario All Stars. Yeah, $20. Does that work for you? You want 25?
One more thing.
Yeah, because I pay more than that. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I got it. I mean, you can resell the system on Craigslist for a fortune if you want to.
Yeah, because I pay a lot for that system. Of every game, I pay a lot of them. You know, that's why.
Yeah, but I mean, they're really $4 or $5 a game, probably even online.
I know that, but
How much would you like for all the games? You keep the system because we bought one of these for $5 already today.
yeah.
How much for the games?
I don't know, because if you're gonna resell a game, it's better just to have all the games with it.
Yeah.
To be honest with
What if we let you keep a handful of games, like Tetris? And everyone, you want to keep the Tetris? We'll let you keep some of these games. We'll just take a couple of the ones we want.
But you give me 50 for all of it.
We don't, because we don't want the system. We don't want all the games really.
Yeah.
Would you go? I mean, what?
'Cause I
30 bucks, and we'll let you keep a couple of the games and the system. You can resell it on Craigslist for $30 easily.
I think.
That's up to you.
We'll let you keep Star Wars, Tetris.
You take all of it for $50. You can sell it on Craigslist.
We don't do
resell.
Craigslist. Yeah. Yeah. 50 is just 30. Oh, what's going on, everyone? White here once again with my boy Fanta.
What's up?
And today we had a comeback weekend. It was really slow early on, just like the last 2 weeks, but we definitely made up for it in the last hour. We were out about 3 hours. First 2 hours were pointless. Last hour was big hit after big hit. But the first couple hours we did manage to get a decent amount of pickups, starting with a nice system.
First thing got was $5. Got this PS2 system. It doesn't have any cables. Don't know if it works. Probably does. We'll test it out later. But I mean, it's a Slim for $5. 2 memory cards. They just kind of threw in, which is kind of cool. And I mean, you can't really go wrong with $5. I mean, you can always find cords for it pretty cheap.
That's what I always say is anything $5 or under it's a risk you can take. I mean, it's $5. It's not a big risk.
It's like a small one.
That's kind of the risk amount. If someone wants $20 for something, I usually won't risk that. But $5 is solid. So then moving into this next yard sale, we were trying to find another person we had talked to on Craigslist, and we ran across this random yard sale, and we did manage to find Star Wars Racer complete in box. Now, yes, the box is beat to death.
Yeah.
But I mean, the manuals and stuff are in here, and the game is in good shape. So
It does have a Blockbuster sticker though. That's one kind of downside.
does have the Blockbuster sticker. That sometimes in some situations that almost makes it more collectible. Believe it or
Really?
not, to some people, I've seen cases where like the Blockbuster game, like Pokemon Snap, for example, the Blockbuster, the one that went into the Blockbuster kiosk, it goes for a bunch of money on eBay.
Oh, that's cool.
Don't know why.
That's weird.
But yeah, so for $1, a box, complete in box NES game, even if it's not in great shape, or Super Nintendo, or N64. I was gonna get to it eventually. All right, so moving on. The Nintendo Wii.
Yeah. This was an interesting story. So he's just waiting in the car, and you see me talk to these people. I run over the street. They say they have nothing. I run on the other side. Then I run back because they're telling me they got stuff, and they have this. Just they're holding in their hands. It says needs work on it, and $15. So I was like, well, what's wrong with it? They don't know. The cables, no. I was like, okay, I guess $5. Maybe I can salvage it, see if it works. Get some cables. I'm like, how about $2? So I bought it for $2. I mean, can't really hurt.
If it works, an absolute home run of a deal. If it doesn't, like I told him, I mean, there's probably some sort of fix for it for $15-20. You have yourself a Wii. The problem, though, the biggest problem I have with it is that there's absolutely no cables with it. And you have to buy quite a few different cables to get the Wii to work. Obviously,
yeah.
you need the sensor bar and the
think
audio
about
video and everything.
Yeah.
But we will test this shortly after this video. If it doesn't work, again, $2. Nothing of value was lost. So at this point, we were in kind of a cool spot in our hunting that nothing was coming up. We went to, what do you say, 15, 20 cells in a community cell, found nothing. And then we came back to kind of our hot part of town, and we did find a decent pickup, a PlayStation 1 and a PlayStation 2.
Yeah, so the cool thing about this PlayStation 1 that mine didn't have from the last PlayStation video was the screen add-on, which honestly makes it a lot more unique, a lot more rare. It goes for a ton more on eBay, I know that for sure. And then I picked up, once again, no cables though, sadly, except for this weird. You want to show them the car thing? That's really weird. Like,
Yep, it's I almost knocked over the camera here. There we go. It's a car charger. Goes into the cigarette lighter jack in a car, so it's meant for it was meant for portable gaming way back in the day, which I think is
pretty cool.
totally cool. It's funny. I mean, your cell phone plays these games
Right?
nowadays, but still, this is what you had to do back in the '90s to play decent games on the road. And at the time, that was really cool to be able to play PlayStation 1 games while driving.
and then another Slim for $5. I mean, I thought I might as well. Once again, it is $5. It's still got the serial number intact and everything. Once again, I just gonna buy some $4 cords, and I got myself a PlayStation Slim.
I told him for $10 he's gonna have 2 PlayStation Slims. One of them, someone will definitely trade him some good stuff for on Craigslist or
Oh,
eBay
yeah.
or YouTube. Wink, wink. So, anyway, I would say the second best sell of the day was literally the next sell we went to, and me and Fanta talk a lot about momentum. This is a perfect case of it. We got one sell after 20 sells of nothing, and then we had another sell with stuff. Very next sell. So show off that bad boy.
Alright, so I got the latest generation Super Nintendo. Once again, doesn't have the cables, because that seems to be a running trend today. Momentum of no cables. And we had price tags on them, $25 for the N64 and $15 for the Super Nintendo. But we're like, it's got no cords, we don't know if they work, we don't know what's going on. So we got it for $5 a piece, once again, $5. You can't go wrong spending $5.
Especially with that bad boy waiting in
Right there, yeah. That thing itself is worth
Close to 20.
close to 20. So, I mean, once again, this should work. They said it works, but we're not sure. It doesn't have the cables, doesn't have the controllers. So once again, we got $5 each. Pretty good deal.
And then the best bargain of the day for sure.
Oh, also you threw in some.
The guy comes out
Yeah.
with these games for free. We had already purchased everything. We were getting ready to leave, and he comes out. A couple generic titles I see everywhere, and one title, Mace: The Dark Age. I don't know anything about it, but I do know it's rated M, and rated
Oh.
M for N64. Sometimes kind of hard to find because it was a system really geared for little kids. That's why Conker's Bad Fur Day is such an expensive game. It came out late and was rated M. That's why it's worth $60, $55 today still. So
Also Rush 2 and Mission Impossible as well. I don't know anything about this, but I have this at home already. It's a really fun game. Pretty decent racing game. You can customize your cars and stuff.
Mission Impossible is one of those games I see everywhere, but never actually ended up with a copy of.
Yeah,
so.
same here. So, I mean, you get it for free, you might as well take it.
Sure.
And then, of course, these were, we didn't really go in order about talking about these, but these are just $1 each games I picked up. Puzzle Quest, you can pick this up on the Xbox Live Arcade as well as the PlayStation Network. I was surprised to actually find it on disc, especially the PS2, just because that came out way after the PS2. And then Cabela's Dangerous Hunts, because I wanted to shoot some animals, it was $1.
Right. And what happened next was, it really shows you how fast life and yard selling, for that matter, can just turn on a dime.
Oh, yeah.
We went to a yard sale. Fanta went up and asked them if they had any old video games, and they said they had Genesis and Super Nintendo.
They just sold.
That they just sold. And if you've been watching our channel for a while, you know that Super Nintendo is the most elusive games out there. We cannot find those games anywhere where we live. I'm not saying that it's the whole world or the whole country for that matter, but where we live in the desert, Super Nintendo games are impossible to find. But we get into a awkward James Bond style high-speed chase with this car tailgating us going 50 miles per hour through a residential neighborhood. So I finally pull off to the side to let this jackass pass, and they pull up next to us, roll down the window, and I'm like, here it comes. Here comes a fight or a shooting or something, and it's just this big family. And they're like, we heard you were looking for some old Nintendo games. Why don't you follow us? We live right down the street. So me and Fanta were thinking either we're going to get our heads cut off or we're going to get some old Nintendo games. Or raped. But it was a risk we were willing to take. So we did it, and it was well worth it. The biggest find of the day. Now, we got this whole lot for $40 I'm about to show you. The guy was pretty stern about not taking. He started off with 50. We got him down to 40, but he wasn't going to go 30 or 20, which a normal person would have. But when you see the games we got, you $30 or $40 was a good deal for the games we got. So let's jump into them. First, Street Fighter 2 for the Super Nintendo. I have Street Fighter 2 Turbo back here, so this is probably going to go to Fanta's collection because I don't need the original one. Mario Kart Player's Choice Edition. I actually don't like the Mario Kart on Super Nintendo as much as the N64. It was a little bit too early for 3D graphics in my opinion. Find of the day, Super Mario RPG. Really, really excited to play this. Never played this timeless classic. I played the Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, but was a little bit too young for RPGs in the mid to early 90s. So really excited to play this as an adult. Also a very valuable game, easily worth the $30 I paid for this line. So decent. Mario All-Stars, just a bunch of old NES Mario games. Pretty common game, you see it everywhere, but since it's Mario, it's still pretty valuable, still sought after. Yours, let me finish off mine. Alright, my favorite game of all time for Super Nintendo. Fanta will tell you how much I was talking about this after I picked it up.
A lot.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors, a top-down shooter for the Super Nintendo. Absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, my favorite game on the entire system, and I played a bunch of games. You kill zombies and aliens and werewolves with squirt guns and like soda cans. It's the most ridiculous game ever. My favorite top-down shooter ever, and my favorite Super Nintendo game ever. So happy to get my hands on this. This is going to be the very last game I play because I have so many priorities in this pile that I just want to play first. Zombies Ate My Neighbor being the first one. And then Tetris 2. Never played Tetris 2. I don't know how it's different than Tetris 1. This is like the third copy of this game we found. We find a bunch on the original Nintendo, so I don't know anything about it. Probably worth this game, but whatever. It's another SNES game.
Alright, and the games I'm taking home, Donkey Kong Country. I played this a lot as a kid at my cousin's house in Iowa. A lot of fun. And then Donkey Kong Country 2. I haven't played this one. It looks like a pretty cool game though. I mean, considering the first one, super difficult game, but really fun.
I think it's better than the first one.
Really?
Yeah.
And then Super Empire Strikes Back. I don't get these titles, they're kind of funny. But, I don't know, I noticed something weird about it. Does yours have like a title on the front? There's no rating or anything on this, which is kind of weird.
Look it up really quick. Oh, that's Return of the Jedi. They're in the wrong boxes.
Looks like it doesn't on this cartridge either. So it looks like, I guess they decided
Bizarre
not to rating.
game. I haven't played it since a kid, but I do remember when I was a kid that it was a very difficult game. You ride around on the little llama thing, you have the lightsaber, and it was pretty hard if I recall as a kid. So that was Find of the Day by far, even though it's $40, that's easily a $90 value. And throw in this FC Twin junky system. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. Sell it on eBay, I guess. I'm not keeping this. It's garbage, but
Well, it's all about the original system itself. Just that nostalgic feeling you get of playing the real system.
this has the same functionality, but it's just, to me, I mean, it's not the same as playing a Super Nintendo or a NES. I mean, so I'll probably sell this.
Yeah.
Some kid that's a collector and wants to play these old games will probably give me $15 for it or something. But anyway, guys, that is all we got. Really happy to have a decent week today for me and Fanta's sake, and for you guys as a viewer. I apologize, last week sucked. Again, this series is a pain in the ass to do. It's fun, but it is a pain to do.
You don't understand how many hours we spend driving around and how frustrated we get with people that don't know how to make yard signs. They have little pieces of paper.
Little white pieces of paper that blend in with the sunlight.
And they write with pen, and they have like this little tiny arrow, and you feel like you just want to strangle these people. Yep. And then like the people that are too late, the second thing is the people that are way too lazy to either walk down the street or walk in their own house and it's right behind them. It's like, they're like, and then the people that don't even know what they own. They're like, oh, we might have something somewhere. Well, it's like, you don't know what you own? And just like the guy that had like...
Even this guy today that had these, he didn't know that he was selling old video game systems. They were sitting on his table.
Yeah, he's like, I don't have any video games.
He's like, I don't have anything.
What about
and I
these?
spotted him. I'm like, there they are. So, anyway, long story short, we are out there for hours. We are working really hard. So if you do enjoy the series, give us a thumbs up. That's all we ask for all of our hard work. And maybe a comment. Let us know what you think. Because it is a pain in the ass. And if people aren't enjoying it, I'm actually having fun
I am having fun too.
to an extent, but there are bad
It's-
times.
The bad times are until we hit the home run, which is always at the end. We've noticed that there's a trend. It's always complete crap.
We can
until
never
very
drive
end.
out at 7 a.m. and find everything at 7:30 and come up. It's always got to be like 10 or 11. Anyway,
Yeah.
guys, we are out. We'll be back next week. I won't be yard selling, but I think Fanta will be. So
Yeah,
later.
I'll be carrying the torch for next week.